Good morning, friends. So, today I just want to share what God is teaching me in my mothering. I am in a phase of mothering where I have five of my eight children are adults, and four of them are out on their own, and the fifth one next month is moving. So, I will have five of them out on their own. And I feel like this has been a real process of my heart and just trying to understand what God has for me. And slowly over time, God has taught me what this phase of mothering looks like. And it looks very different than when they were in our home. And I can't say I'm an easy learner. It has taken a bit of process and a bit of failures on my part just to walk through this and just to continue to come before the Lord and let the Lord teach me and reprove me and correct me and help me to step into something different than just a part of mothering that I've known for so long, of my children being in my home to out of my home, and how that looks different. You might not agree with everything that I am going to share here. You might have even come to different conclusions on your own, but I'm just going to share my testimony of what God is teaching me in this phase. And I have this written in my truth pack, so I'm just going to share just some thoughts that I have from my truth pack, and I'm going to refer to it just to make sure I have kind of all these things that are important to me that God has taught me that I can share with you. One is that really I am no longer parenting. I am no longer mothering my adult children. I am their mother still, but I am not actively mothering. It does change when they get out on their own. You're still the mother, but you're not mothering. And if you try to mother, which many times I have tried to mother, sometimes it's just a big, huge fail. They are out on their own. They're trying to figure out life on their own. They know everything that you are going to say. They have been under your mothering for 18 plus years, and now things have changed. And that has just been a slow process for me to understand things are not the same, Kathleen. You're not still mothering them. You need to release them. Um, and that releasing part is just hard because I still have thoughts for them. I'm still concerned for them. But I've realized that through this process of these several years that my heart needs to change. I need to really entrust them to God in a way that I am releasing my role in their life and my voice in their life. And God is using other people and other situations and other circumstances to bring about His will and His good in their life. It's not all coming from Stephen and I, it's coming from people in their lives and their friends and people in their churches. They're in different churches, and just all of this is a part of me just really stepping into a different role with my kids. The another thing I've really realized is that I no longer need to have expectations that our relationship is going to look a certain way. Again, this is speaking from a spot of failure. I have had expectations on this relationship is going to look a certain way, or it's going to have a certain level of communication, or a certain level of openness. And as adult kids, they get to decide. They also have a very active role in how open they're going to be, or how much they're going to share, or how often they're going to call home. And over time, I have realized I just need to be peaceful with that. I need to allow that. And with five different kids out, that looks five different ways. Different kids call home more often. Different kids want more input. Different kids want input on different things. And this is not a cookie cutter mothering anymore. This is looking very different for each kid. And it has been even when they were in our home, things look different for each kid. But definitely as they step out and as they are on their own, then I really need to release my expectations of them. Another thing that God has really taught me is that this is an amazing opportunity to instill confidence in them. As they're struggling along, as they're trying to figure out things, what an amazing opportunity to speak words of comfort and words of confidence and words of faith that are it's coming not from a spot of concern and fear, but coming from a spot of just knowing who God is in their lives. And I have really realized that in my fear, I can speak even kind of words that sound like faith and that are faith, but it's coming from a heart of fear. And that I really need to walk away and step back out of that fear, just as I needed to do in the home, but even more so now because they also are worried about their lives and they also are afraid of things. And what they need from me is they really need a steady mom that has a steady heart, that is speaking words of confidence and comfort into their lives as they call home, as we have connecting points, that I am just using that opportunity to build into them. I have mothered them for 18 plus years. I have spoken so many words to them, and now my position can change, and I can give them words of confidence and words to encourage them. One of the biggest examples, even when they were in our home, this is very true, but even more so now, is just being an example of a woman that loves God, that loves His Word, that is trusting God. And all of these things can only happen, I have realized, as I am focused and meditating and living in a spot where I know who God is, what He has done for each one of my children, what He is doing, and what He will do. And I have to find those truths from the Word. I have to find those verses, and I have to hold on to those verses for my own life, but also for my children's lives. And those verses, those promises, those truths have to be my anchor. They have to be my strength. And then I am really able to release my children. I'm able to let go. I don't have to be that voice all the time. I don't have to worry about all their decisions. I can even allow them to make mistakes and be peaceful in that and not be so afraid, but just know God, who He is, what He's done for each one of them, what He is doing. You know, in the Romans it says that He is sitting at the right hand of God, pleading. Another verse says interceding for us. God is doing that. That's a present tense. God is doing that for my children, and that needs to bring me confidence and faith and give me, just open up a door for me to really release my kids and allow them to experience God on their own. That's one of the things I realized, is that when they're in your home, a lot of times they can experience God through you, through your faith, through your words. But what we really want for our adult kids is we want them to personally experience God. And the only way for us to do that is to step back and let them personally experience God and be praying for them and be interceding for them, asking the Lord to show them Himself, to reveal Himself to our kids as they walk through these things. And so I want to find confidence on that. I want to rest in that. I want to just be a woman that is walking around my home, that is praying for my kids, but not out of fear, not out of concern, but really out of a faith, a deep faith where I know who God is and what He's doing. And I think this is going to continue to bless my kids as their mother. I'm not actively mothering, but I am their mother, and I am a woman that is in faith, trusting God for them and watching God's hand in their lives. I've already seen so many examples of God working out things that I couldn't have been a part of, that I couldn't have made happen. But God, in His kindness and in His love, made these things happen for my kids out of His mercy. And that can bring me confidence and a faith and a rest. So I hope those things are encouraging to you, and I will see you next time.